Hello and welcome to Brain Myths, the right side, left side brain learning by Roy Bartnick. Why do we as educators need to understand neuroscience? One of the main factors is we have to determine fact from fiction when designing our lessons. Uh, a couple of the reasons for that would be educators may implement wrong brain-based ideas in educational practice. I've done this before too. We see something in a professional development and decide that this is a good thing to install in our classroom, only to find out later that it's a myth or it's really not a true thing. Another one where students adapt ineffective learning techniques that hinder their learning. Dunsky, Rowan, Marsh, Nathan, and Willingham all in 2013 have a pretty effective paper that talks about how we spend a lot of time teaching students how to do things ineffectively, and really we're sabotaging their learning. So most of the things that we're going to talk about are pretty simple techniques that we can use to improve learning, but and also really easy to achieve in your classroom. One of the things that we need to determine if neuroscience help provide is this a fact or a fiction? And the one that I've concentrated on is educational neuromyth of the left brain, right brain learning style. And this is a myth that's pretty popular. Matter of fact, I was actually taught this in a regular classroom before, as well as a lot of PDs. And it talks about how we use different parts of our brain to do different parts of the things. But it's based on Howard Gardner's frames of mind, the theory of multiple intelligence, which was introduced in 1983. And this theory suggests that the brain has modules where certain learning strengths reside. While neuroscience does provide a physical location for specific brain functions such as sight, hearing, etc., Gardner's theory reduced this to a left side, right side strengths is a myth. And as you can see right here, these are the areas that Gardner identifies: a kinesthetic strength, an interpersonal strength, an intrapersonal strength, linguistic strength, mathematical strength, a naturalistic strength, a visual strength, and a musical strength in learning. This left brain, right brain learning style really has some base in fact. We know through the science of how the brain is designed that different areas of the brain do function differently, but not for the strengths that Gardner proposes. And Carey in 2014 states that both sides of the brain need to work together to add meaning to memory. While Carey wrote about the split brain patients who saw pictures of forks with their right hemisphere, they could still not name the object because that language resides in the other hemisphere of the brain. Mnemonics, or mental imagery, is also an effective memory method for remembering. Dunsky, Rowan, Marsh, Nathan, and Willingham in 2013 go into deep detail about how mnemonics, or mental imagery, is effective as the learner associates pictures, which again shows that both sides of the brain have to work together to add meaning to this visual concept. I've used mnemonics in my classroom. One of the ones I just recently used last week was "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally" as we're doing algebra for order of operations. I don't even have to say the words. We can just see a picture of this old lady, or the students draw one themselves, and instantly they go back to what they're supposed to know. According to Carey in 2014, both sides of the brain need to work together to add meaning to memory. While Carey wrote about the split brain patients who saw pictures of a fork with their right hemisphere, this is because, once again, we need both sides of the brain. Mnemonics, or mental imagery, is an effective method of remembering. The learner associates a picture with meaning. Simultaneously, Dunsky et al. In 2013 talks about specific mnemonics as functions of cross-brain memory. Carey in 2014 and Dunsky in 2013 stressed the importance of images to help increase the strength of memory storage and retrieval. In a study conducted by Leutner, Leopold, and Stemflet in 2009, as cited in Debunking et al. In 2013, students were told to create a simple mental picture of each paragraph's main points, scored higher on recall during tests. This cross-brain memory and meaning associated, again, disproves the left brain, right brain living in isolation mythology. This is once again supported by Carey in 2014, where he states that the brain does not store facts in separate files, but embeds them in a network of perceptions, facts, and thoughts, which use the functions of both brain hemispheres. So the 4 stages of insight, or this aha moment, or the eureka moment, once again demonstrates how both sides of the brain have to work in unison or in collaboration for memory and thought processes to work. So the 4 stages was preparation, where the information is loaded in the brain, the facts that support things, and a clear understanding of the problems created. This incubation process occurs when you're not even thinking about what's going on consciously, but subconsciously your brain is still going from left brain, right brain strengths and the areas of the brain that control vision, memory, facts, logical, to where you're not even thinking about this illumination or aha or eureka moment occurs. Now, Carrie does say that you need the verification process because not every aha or eureka moment is the actual solution, but you have to check the results and make sure they're accurate and feasible. Where your brain's subconsciously working on these thoughts or concepts, this aha moment is kind of like where you put the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle together to make the final picture. The last fact I'd like to talk to you about is interleaving. So once again, a proven method of learning and retaining information debunks the left side right brain myth. By using various methods to enhance retention and information cross concepts, learners can retain and make deeper, longer lasting connections. These methods can be songs, cue card games, and various other inputs. However, they are all stored in their respective parts of the brain. Only by working together from both hemispheres can this interleaving process occur. And Casey, 2014, provides examples of interleaving as a successful form of mixing, relating by different materials and methods to enhance understanding. Debunking et al. In 2013 also provides several studies where interleaving information and studying outperform traditional or blocked methods during assessments. I'd like to thank you for listening to my presentation, and attached is a list of references.